Hello students, myself Dr. Aarti Sharma. Today I am going to discuss about lysosome, an important organelle of cells. I am doing this video in collaboration with Zoological Society of Assam for the students of zoology. So I'll start with lysosomes. The learning outcomes of this PPT is: what are lysosomes, structure of lysosomes, why lysosomes are acidic and how acidity is maintained, how are lysosomes formed, what are lysosome related organelles, function of lysosomes and lysosome storage diseases. Now we will start with what are lysosomes. Lysosomes are actually membrane bounded organelles. These membrane bounded organelles have a capacity to digest the biological polymers like protein, nucleic acid, carbohydrates and lipids, because they contain the enzymes in it. The main function of lysosomes are thus the digestive function. They basically digest all the material which a cell take up from exterior, as well as some obsolete components which are produced inside the cell itself are digested. Now we will know where these lysosomes occur inside the cell. So, lysosomes occur actually in all eukaryotic cells except red blood cells, that too mature RBCs, because as you all know, mature RBCs do not have any organelles so that they can transport oxygen with an ease. Therefore, except red blood cells, lysosomes occur in all eukaryotic cells. Now we will know where actually the lysosomes are located. Actually, lysosomes are usually located near nucleus or MTOC, microtubular organizing centers. But in different types of cells, they have different positions. Like in hepatocytes, they are present near bicanaliculi, and in proximal convoluted tubules, they are present near supranuclear cytoplasm. In cultured fibroblast cells, they are present in perinuclear cytoplasm. The number of lysosomes also varies from cell to cell. Like in fibroblasts, pituitary cells and hepatocytes, they are less than or equal to 0.5%. But in macrophages and phagocytes, their number increases from 100 to 1000 because they have actually the digestive role. In a particular organ also, different kind of cells may vary in lysosomal number. Like in kidney, the proximal convoluted tubules have large number of lysosomes. But in kidney itself, the tubule epithelium cells contain very less amount of lysosomes. Now about the discovery of lysosome. Christian D. Dubé is associated with the discovery of lysosome. He first observed and named lysosome in 1950, and in 1956 Novikov and co-workers, they gave the morphological identity of lysosomes. Structure of lysosomes. In their simplest forms, lysosomes are dense and spherical vacuoles which vary in size and shape. Why they vary in size and shape? Because whatever they ingest, the material are of different consistency and sizes. Therefore, their size and shape vary according to the material they take up for digestion. Membrane of lysosome. As all membrane of organelle, the membrane of lysosome also consists of phospholipid bilayer, which is rich in carbohydrates and proteins. The thickness of the bilayer is 7 to 10 nanometer. The membrane contains two different kinds of proteins, major proteins and minor proteins. The major proteins are LAMP1 and 2. The full form of LAMP is lysosomal associated membrane protein, and the other one is LINC1 and 2, lysosomal integrated membrane protein. The minor proteins consist of cystinosin, CLN3 and CLN. The matrix of lysosome consists of eosinophilic dense matrix which has an acidic pH. Characteristic of lysosome, the organelle containing an acidic pH. Composition of lysosome. Lysosome, what actually lysosome consists of? Lysosome consists of different kind of enzymes. All the enzymes are digestive in functions and they are all hydrolases because they catalyze, they hydrolyze. What they hydrolyze? They hydrolyze proteins, DNA, RNA, polysaccharides and lipids. Since lysosome consists of an acidic pH, the requirement of these hydrolases is an acidic pH. Therefore, these enzymes are named as acid hydrolases and they are active only in acidic pH, that is almost about 5 pH. Then why acidic pH? Actually, it is a protective measure of a cell. Suppose accidentally if a lysosome ruptures, then all its content will be released in the cytoplasm, and lysosome contains digestive enzymes, so it will digest up all the cytoplasmic contents including organelle. To avoid this, lysosome consists of an acidic pH. So if accidentally lysosome ruptures and releases all its content in the cytosol, due to neutral pH of cytosol, that is about 7 pH, the pH of lysosomal content will be enhanced from 5 to some 6.5 or something like that, due to which its enzymes will not be able to function. So it is a protective measure. Therefore, lysosome consists of an acidic pH. How lysosome maintain acidic pH? There is a mechanism to maintain this acidic pH in lysosome. This is accomplished by a proton pump. A proton pump is actually attached in the membrane of lysosome. This is the cytosol which has a pH of 7, and this is lysosome which has pH 5, and this green color structure is proton pump. The lysosome consists of acid hydrolysis, the enzyme which hydrolyzes the various polymers of cell. Now, with the use of ATP, a proton is pumped inside lysosome, thus maintaining acidic pH. So, acidic pH is actually maintained by a proton pump which functions with the help of ATP and maintains a pH of 5. Functional categories of lysosomes. Lysosomes can be divided into various forms and accordingly named also, according to their function. So, the functional categories of lysosome are multivesicular bodies. Multivesicular bodies means different kind of material when a cell ingests. All those different materials can be ingested by various phenomena, and the sum total of all the ingesting materials we describe it under endocytosis. So all the endocytotic vesicles when fused with the late endosome. What is a late endosome? We'll discuss later also. But a late endosome is a part of lysosome. So it is inside the cytoplasm itself. So endocytotic vesicles from outside of the cell, whatever a cell ingests, when it forms the endocytotic vesicle and it fuses with the late endosome, then that type of structure is known as multivesicular body. The other structure is phagolysosome. It is basically suited for phagocytotic vesicles. So similarly, when a phagocytotic vesicle fuses with the late endosome, the name is phagolysosome. The third kind of name which we give is autophagolysosome. Autophagolysosome means an autophagoc vesicle when fuses with late endosome. Now what is an autophagic vesicle? Autophagy means self-eating. Auto means self and phagy means eating. So when a lysosome ingests its own organelle or its own constituent of cells, then it is known as autophagolysosome. So an autophagolysosome consists of autophagic vesicles fused with the late endosome. And when in all these three type of structures the digestion occurs, the residual content present in that structure is known as residual body. Lysosome formation. How lysosomes are formed? Lysosomes are actually budded off from Golgi. Golgi bodies bud off lysosomes. You know, Golgi body produce vesicles, secretory vesicles. Those secretory vesicles consist of proteins, enzymes, different kind of material. So lysosomes are also budded off from Golgi network, that is from the trans site of Golgi. And when these fuses with endosomes are formed from plasma membrane. So the secretory vesicles of Golgi complex plus endocytotic vesicles from plasma membrane, when they fuse, they form lysosomes. So there is an intersection between secretory pathway from Golgi to plasma, and endocytotic pathway. Endocytotic pathway is from plasma to cytoplasm. So there is an intersection of between these two pathways in the formation of lysosome. Now we will study the steps of lysosome formation. Very first step is some material from outside of the cell enters the cell in clathrin coated endocytotic vesicles. I'll show you the diagram also in later slide. So the material from outside the cell enters the clathrin coated endocytotic vesicle. These endocytotic vesicles then bud from plasma membrane and then fuse with early endosomes which are already present in cytoplasm. Later, the membrane components are recycled to plasma membrane so that another endosome can be formed, and the early endosome, it matures into late endosome. The late endosome is actually the precursor of lysosome. During endosome maturation, internal pH is lowered to 5.5 because, as you know, when a cell undergoes endocytosis, it engulfs the material from the outside of the cell, and there the pH is not acidic. And when it fuses with Golgi secretory vesicle, which contains some sort of hydrolases, and both the pH merges, and then the pH is lowered to 5.5 with the help of proton pump, which we have already discussed earlier. Now the acid hydrolysis, which are targeted to lysosomes by mannose 6-phosphate residues, are recognized by mannose 6-phosphate receptors in the trans-Golgi network and are packaged into clathrin coated vesicles. These clathrin coat is removed, and then these vesicles are transported and these fuse with late endosomes, in which acidic pH cause dissociation of hydrolases from mannose 6-phosphate receptors. The hydrolases are released then in the lumen of endosome, and the receptors remain in the membrane, which are recycled again to the Golgi complex. Late endosome then mature into lysosome because they now consist of acid hydrolases which are ready to digest whatever is eaten up by the cell. Now we are going to study the steps. The very first step of lysosome formation is through maturation model. This is a maturation model. Here you can see the endocytotic. First step is endocytosis. So anything which is eaten up by cell from outside by any of the methods, that forms an endocytotic vesicle. This endocytotic vesicle then fuses with an early endosome. This is an early endosome, and the receptors are then recycled back to the plasma membrane. The second model is vesicular transport model, because I told you that there is an intersection of two pathways. The first pathway is endocytotic pathway, which we have just discussed. Now we are discussing the secretory pathway. So this is vesicular transport model. Now we will focus from Golgi. Golgi, it produces mannose 6-phosphate receptors. This is a receptor of mannose 6-phosphate. Here you can see clathrin coated vesicle. It forms clathrin coated vesicle, and a ligand, which is actually the acid hydrolases, gets fused with this receptor. Acid hydrolases consist of mannose 6-phosphate residues, which are recognized by these mannose 6-phosphate receptors, and these hydrolases are then this type of you can see a clathrin coated vesicle is formed. Now the Golgi forms this clathrin coated vesicle, from which clathrin is removed, and it fuses with late endosome, delivering the acid hydrolases to the early endosome, forming a late endosome, and the clathrin coated vesicle is then again recycled to Golgi. When acid hydrolases containing vesicle fuses with an early endosome and digestion starts, the substance, the vesicle, is now known as lysosome. So this is a formation of lysosome. Here you can easily see there is intersection between secretory pathway from Golgi and endocytotic pathway from outside of the cell. Endosome to lysosome. From endosome to lysosome formation, there are we can see early endosome, late endosome, and lysosome. So in all these three structures, we are studying the morphological differences. Intralysosomal vesicles, pH, functions, and main interacting compartments. So during endosome to lysosome formation, early endosome, late endosome, and then lysosome, we will see these differences in these three structures. Morphological differences. Intralysosomal vesicles present pH, functions, and main interacting compartments. So first we will start with morphology. These are early endosomes. Early endosomes are actually electron-lucent vacuoles, which are lined by bilayer of clathrin coat, and it contains electron-dense tubules. This is late endosome. A late endosome consists of globular vacuole lined with a bilayer clathrin coat, and with it has fewer electron-dense tubules attached. Lysosome, then it matures to lysosome, and the lysosome consists of heterogeneously shaped vacuole that has electron dense lumen with irregular content and often membrane sheaths. So early endosome, late endosome, and lysosome, these are the morphological differences from early endosome to lysosome. Next we will study the intraluminal vesicles in these. In early endosome, the intraluminal vesicles are approximately 0 to 8. In late endosome, it is more than 9, and in lysosome, it is very few. And the pH variation is: early endosome has a pH of approximately 6, late endosome 5 to 6, and lysosome actually contains the exact pH 4.5 to 5. Function. Early endosome function is to receive incoming endocytotic vesicles and newly synthesized endolysosomal proteins from trans-Golgi network, and then they sort these proteins and start formation of intralysosomal vesicles. Late endosome. Late endosome function is to receive newly synthesized endolysosomal proteins from trans-Golgi network, recycled proteins from trans-Golgi network, and then they also continue the formation of intralysosomal vesicles and they function in protein sorting. Lysosome. The lysosome receives cargo, whatever material they have received is present in late endosome. All that material is received from late endosome in lysosome. So this is the function. Main interacting compartment. In early endosome, the main interacting compartments are plasma membrane, recycling endosomes, and late endosome. In late endosomes, the main interacting compartments are trans-Golgi network, late endosome, lysosomes, and plasma membrane. In lysosomes, the main interacting compartment are late endosome, plasma membrane, autophagosome, and phagosome. Synthesis and trafficking of lysosomal membrane proteins. Some membrane proteins are present in lysosome. So the cytoplasmic tails of these membrane proteins have a motif so that they are targeted to lysosome. It consists of two motifs, GYXS5 and dileucin. These are recognized by an adapter protein AP3. Lysosomal related organelles. What are they? Lysosomal related organelles are actually modified forms of lysosomal vesicles. They are found in specialized cells and have specialized functions. So we will study different kinds of lysosomal related organelles. There are few examples of lysosomal related organelles which we are going to study: melanosomes, Weber pallid body, dense granules, basophilic granules, acrosomes, notochord vacuole, and osteoclast secretory lysosomes. So we will start with melanosomes. These are melanosomes. Melanosomes are present in which cell type, which sample cargoes, and physiological functions. Under these three headings we will study the melanosomes, lysosome related organelles. Melanosomes are actually present in melanocytes and eye pigment cells. The sample cargo consists of tyrosinase related proteins, and PMEL. Physiological functions are melanin production and storage for pigmentation. Weber pallid body. In Weber pallid body also we will study the cell type. It is actually present in endothelial cells, the cells which line the blood vessels. Sample cargo: von Willebrand factor and P-selectin. The main physiological function of Weber pallid body is storage and release of homeostatic and pro-inflammatory factors. These are dense granules. The dense granules are actually present in platelets. The sample cargo consists of serotonin, calcium, ADP, ATP, and polyphosphate. The physiological function is storage and release of small molecules for platelet adhesion. These are basophilic granules. You can see the granules in the basophil cells. And in this also we will study in which cell types they are present. As you can see, they are present in basophils. They are present in mast cells also. The sample cargo consists of histamine. And the physiological function is storage and secretion of histamine. Acrosome. Acrosome, the sperm cell consists of a tip known as acrosome, which has lysosomal enzymes. So they are present in sperm cells. The sample cargo consists of acrozonin, matrix metalloproteinases, and their main physiological function is egg penetration during fertilization. Notochord vacuole. Notochord vacuole is present in notochord. So the cell type is notochord inner cell. And the sample cargo consists of lysosomal associated membrane protein first and V-type ATPases. And their functional role is structural rigidity of the notochord. These are osteoclast secretory lysosomes. Cell type, sample cargo, and physiological functions. They are usually present in osteoclasts. Osteoclasts are the cells which help in bone remodeling. So these cells, sample cargo consists of cathepsin K, V-ATPases, tartarate acid resistant phosphatase, and their physiological function is bone digestion. Now, function of lysosomes. Lysosomes perform various functions like autophagy, heterophagy, crinophagy, extracellular digestion, wound repair, nutrient sensing and recycling, apoptosis, bone remodeling, cholesterol homeostasis, and detoxification. We will study each function in slight detail. So we will start with phagocytosis and autophagy. As you know, lysosome degrade molecules via endocytosis, phagocytosis, and autophagy. In phagocytosis, they take up all the material from outside of the cell and they form phagolysosomes. In autophagy, they eat the organelle present inside the cell, forming an autophagosome. So, this is the diagram of phagocytosis. You can see how a cell is performing phagocytosis by eating a bacterium cell which forms a phagosome. It fuses with an early endosome forming a late endosome, and then finally phagolysosome. In autophagy, it is eating a mitochondria, its own organelle. So mitochondria is engulfed in an autophagosome and then it fuses with an late endosome, and then the material is digested and autophagolysosome is formed. Crinophagy. Crinophagy, what is crinophagy? Crinophagy, when excess of secretory granules are present in cells. As you know, Golgi body produces secretory granules which may consist of hormones, proteins, etc., and they are released outside the cell. Suppose if it is not required and still the secretory granules are present inside the cell, they are useless for the cell. So they have to be digested. So these secretory granules then fuses with lysosomes and then they are digested by the enzymes of lysosomes. So this phenomenon is known as crinophagy. Extracellular digestion. Sometimes macrophages, the cells known as macrophages, they release their lysosomal enzyme to extracellular space. Why they do so? They do so to digest the bacteria present in the surrounding, and in this way they help in defense mechanism. The next function of lysosome is wound repair of cells. How they are responsible in this part? A wounded cell usually has a ruptured plasma membrane. So in these cells, the lysosomes fuse at the surface and release their content. When they release their content, obviously their acid hydrolyses are not helping in wound repair, but the membrane of lysosome, when fuses with the ruptured plasma membrane, they are resealing the membrane, and this resealing and repair of cell is then carried out by lysosomal membrane. Nutrient sensing and recycling is another function of lysosome. So how they do so? Actually, there is this nutrient sensing machinery present in lysosome. It consists of mTOR, mammalian target of rapamycin, which are actually regulators of growth. So these are inhibited by starvation. Suppose a cell is not eating anything, so it does not require any lysosome. So if it does not require any lysosome, these are sensed by mTOR, and the growth of lysosomes are stopped or inhibited, and it causes autophagy of excess lysosomes, and it also enhances biogenesis of transcription factor for further synthesis of lysosomes, because later on the cell will require nutrients. So it degrades lysosome and as well as trigger lysosome formation. This property is known as nutrient sensing and recycling. Apoptosis. How lysosome help in apoptosis, and what is apoptosis? Actually, lysosome membrane permeabilization. When lysosome membrane becomes permeable, it releases all its contents to cytoplasm, and then it causes programmed cell death. In this case, all the lysosomes rupture simultaneously, and they release all their contents in the cytoplasm. So it is different from accidental rupture. Accidental rupture occur only for a single lysosome, but in apoptosis all the lysosomes they get ruptured because their membrane become permeabilized, and it is an action of programmed cell death. So this phenomenon is known as apoptosis. Bone remodeling. How lysosome help in bone remodeling? Bone remodeling is done by osteoclast cells. Osteoclast cells we have studied in lysosome related organelle also. These osteoclast cells release their content to the exterior, and they help in bone remodeling, shaping of the bone. Role in cholesterol homeostasis. How lysosome help in cholesterol homeostasis? Now cholesterol, as you know, is present in plasma membrane. If a cell requires cholesterol for its plasma membrane, then it has to engulf cholesterol, but cholesterol is not engulfed directly. Actually, cholesterol is present as low density lipoprotein, and it enters in that form only through calcium coated vesicles. The lysosome digests this LDL and releases this cholesterol, which is recycled to the membrane. This way they are helping in the formation of plasma membrane, and cholesterol is being recycled to the membrane. But if too much cholesterol accumulates in cell, the process of cholesterol synthesis inside the cell is stopped, as well as the LDL receptor protein synthesis is also stopped. In this way, it helps in cholesterol homeostasis. Now, one more function is detoxification. Suppose a person has drugs, then all the drugs or medicines, they enter smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum have detoxifying enzymes. These at the time when a person takes drugs or some medicines, the smooth endoplasmic reticulum membranes are formed excessively. After the drug is digested, that is detoxified, detoxification has occurred. Now what will happen to those excess SER membranes? So these lysosomes, by autophagocytosis, they digest all this excess of SER membrane. In this way they help in detoxification, but actually the role of detoxification is of SER. They only digest the excess of SER membrane formed in the process of detoxification. Lysosome storage diseases. What are they? Sometimes lysosomes are basically produce in excess amount, and due to which a group of diseases occur known as lysosome storage diseases, because all the waste product of lysosome are accumulated inside the cell and forms large intracellular vacuoles. These disorders may be result of enzymatic processes or non-enzymatic processes. Enzymatic processes because some deficient or defective acid hydrolysis is produced and they are unable to digest the substance properly. And sometimes non-enzymatic processes also because of transporter defect. Now we are going to study different kinds of lysosomal storage diseases. Defect in glycan degradation, Gaucher disease, sialidosis. Defect in lipid degradation, Wolman and cholesterol ester storage disease. Defect in protein degradation, pycnodysostoses. Defect in lysosomal transporters, SALA diseases. Defect in lysosomal trafficking. Symptoms of lysosomal disorders, storage disorders. Progressive neurological degeneration. This is one symptom. Another symptom is hepatosplenomegaly. Another symptom is skeletal dysplasia with or without short stature. Another symptom is eye change. There is a cherry red spot developed or a corneal clouding. Angiokeratoma. These are few symptoms of lysosomal storage disorders, or diseases. 50 LSDs are known till date, and they are rare, but they affect 1 in 4,800 live births. They are fatal and can only be treated by enzyme replacement therapy. Few of the LSDs are single gene disorders. There are 3 exceptions of single gene disorder. Those 3 exceptions are autosomal recessive inheritances. Fabry's and Hunter diseases are actually X-linked recessive disorders. Danon diseases show X-linked dominant inheritance. The further reading to study more about lysosomes is Cooper, GM, The Cell, A Molecular Approach, Albert B. Johnson, A. Lewis J. et al., Molecular Biology of Cell, Lodish H., Burke A., Zikorsky S.L. et al., Molecular Cell Biology. Thank you. Myself Dr. Aarti Sharma. This is my email ID for further queries.